Every year, thousands of students complete their theory courses in IGNOU MECP, the Master of Arts in Economics, and then reach the one component that actually decides the degree, the project. This is the complete step-by-step guide to the IGNOU MECP project, covering the new course code MECP-301 and the older codes MECP-201 and MECP-202. By the end, you will know exactly which code applies to you, how the proposal gets approved, how to build the report, how submission and Viva work, and how the marks are awarded. First, let us be clear about what this project is. In IGNOU MECP, the project is a compulsory research component in the fourth and final semester. It is not a theory paper and it has no term-end exam. Instead, you choose an economic problem, study it with real data, and present your findings as a formal research report. In short, the project is where you prove that you can do independent economic research, not just answer questions from a book. The whole program is offered in semester mode, 4 semesters of 20 credits each, 80 credits in total, and the project sits right at the end as your capstone. Now, the single biggest source of confusion, the course code. IGNOU has revised the code. If you are admitted under the current prospectus, your project course is MECP-301. If you are a continuing or older student, you will still see one of 2 codes, MECP-201, worth 6 credits, or MECP-202, worth 4 credits. And here is the rule that trips most students. You do not do both. The official program guide states clearly that students are not permitted to opt for both MECP-201 and MECP-202. You complete only one project, and which one depends on your area of specialization. So treat this as your first task. Open your own program guide, look at the 4th semester structure, and confirm your exact project code. New prospectus, it is MECP-301. Continuing student, it is either MECP-201 or MECP-202, based on the group you chose. Everything else in this video applies to all 3 codes, because the process, the proposal, the report, the submission, and the Viva is essentially the same. Let us now go through it, stage by stage. Here is the project at a glance. It is a compulsory 4th semester research project. It carries 100 marks in total. The credit weight is 6 credits for MECP-201 and 4 credits for MECP-202, which means roughly 180 hours of independent work for the 6-credit version. There is no written exam. Your marks come from the report and the Viva only. And you cannot simply write and submit. You must first get a project proposal approved. We will cover each of these in detail. Let us look at how the specialization decides your code. In the 4th semester, IGNOU MECP lets you choose an area of specialization from 4 groups, labeled A, B, C, and D. These groups cover areas such as agricultural economics, industrial economics, public economics, environmental and social sector economics, financial economics, and actuarial economics, among others. You complete 20 credits from your chosen group. The project work fits inside this choice. Under groups B and C, the project is the 6-credit MECP-201. Under group D, it is the 4-credit MECP-202. For new prospectus students, this is unified under MECP-301. If you prefer not to specialize, you may pick any 20 credits across the groups, but you should confirm from your own program guide whether the project is compulsory for your chosen combination. Now the mental model, the full life cycle from start to grade card. Stage 1, choose a topic in economics. Stage 2, find and confirm an eligible supervisor. Stage 3, write the project proposal, also called the synopsis. Stage 4. Submit that proposal and wait for approval from the Faculty of Economics. Stage 5. Once approved, carry out the actual research and collect your data. Stage 6. Write the full project report. Stage 7. Submit the bound report to the university and fill your exam form. Stage 8. Appear for the Viva-Voce. Miss the order and you risk your report not being evaluated at all. So let us respect the sequence and take these one by one. Stage 1. Choosing your topic. A good MECP topic applies economic theory to a real researchable problem, and it must have data you can actually get. Keep the scope tight. A topic that is too broad becomes impossible to finish, and a topic that is too narrow starves you of data. Draw your topic from your specialization area. For example, public and development economics gives you themes like the effect of a welfare scheme on rural income. Financial economics gives you themes like the link between inflation and household savings. Agricultural economics gives you themes like the impact of minimum support prices on farmer earnings. Throughout this video, we will follow one running example so the steps stay concrete. A study titled The Impact of MECP-301 on Rural Household Income. MECP-301 is India's Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, and this topic is specific, data-rich, and clearly economic. For the full program-wide list of how to shortlist and refine economics topics, we have a dedicated topics resource, and this channel's project topic videos, linked below. Here we stay focused on the MECP process. Stage 2. Your supervisor. Your project must be done under a qualified guide. IGNOU expects the supervisor to hold a master's or a doctoral qualification in economics or a closely related discipline. If your guide is not an economics faculty member at the School of Social Sciences, then in your proposal you must give the name and details of another eligible person who will supervise you. Involve your supervisor early. A good guide helps you sharpen the topic, identify data sources, and avoid a proposal rejection later. Stage 3. The project proposal or synopsis. This is a short research plan, usually a few pages, in which you state your title, the background, your objectives, your research questions, your methodology, and your data sources. You prepare it on the official pro forma, which appears as Annexure A in your project guide. We keep synopsis writing light here, because this channel has a separate, detailed synopsis video that walks through each section, and it is linked for you. What matters most at this stage is what happens next: approval. This is the rule that saves degrees, so listen carefully. You must get your proposal approved before you begin the project. The official guide is blunt about it. If you submit the project report without approval of the project proposal, your report will not be evaluated under any circumstances. No approval, no evaluation, full stop. So the safe order is always the same. Proposal first, approval next, and only then the full project work. There is a second part to this rule that many students miss. If the faculty asks you to revise your proposal, you get a maximum of 2 chances to revise it. If you still fail to satisfy the faculty after those 2 chances, you will be required to complete another optional course in place of the project. That can cost you an entire session. The lesson is simple. Take the proposal seriously the first time, work closely with your supervisor, and submit it well before your intended deadline, because approval itself can take several weeks. Once your proposal is approved, you move to stage 5, the research itself. An economics project usually uses one of 2 kinds of data, or both. Primary data is what you collect yourself, through surveys, questionnaires, or interviews. Secondary data is what already exists, from sources like the Reserve Bank of India, the Ministry of Statistics, NSSO reports, census data, or published journals. In our running example, you might combine a household survey in a selected district with secondary MECP-301 wage and employment data. You then analyze that data using appropriate economic and statistical tools, tabulation, averages, growth rates, correlation, or regression, depending on your questions. The point is not to show off heavy econometrics, it is to answer your objectives honestly with the right method. Stage 6. Writing the report. Let us walk the full structure in order using our running example. The report opens with the preliminary pages, a cover page with your title, the course code, your name, enrollment number, study center, and date, a certificate page signed by your supervisor, a declaration by you, which is Annexure C in the guide, stating the work is original and not submitted elsewhere. Then acknowledgements, a table of contents, and a list of tables and figures. Many students also add a short abstract, a summary of about 300 to 500 words covering the objective, method, and key findings. Then come the main chapters. Chapter 1. Introduction. The background of MECP-301, why rural income matters, your objectives, your research questions, and the scope of the study. Chapter 2. Review of literature, what earlier studies and reports have already found, and the gap your study fills. Chapter 3. Research methodology, your study area, your sample, how you collected the data, and the tools you use to analyze it. Chapter 4. Results and discussion, your tables, charts, and the interpretation. This is the heart of the report and usually carries the most weight. Chapter 5. Conclusions, your main findings, your suggestions, the limitations and scope for future work. Finally, the end matter. A bibliography or references list in a consistent style such as APA covering every source you used, then appendices for your questionnaire, raw data tables, or any supporting material. On formatting, keep it clean and standard, typed on A4 paper, a readable serif font, 1.5 line spacing, clear margins, and a neat binding. Because the universal IGNOU formatting standard is the same across programs, we have a dedicated project format video that covers page setup, certificates, and references in full, and it is linked below. For your word length, follow your current MECP guide. And when in doubt, ask your supervisor. Stage 7. Submission. When your report is complete and signed, you submit a properly bound copy, along with a soft copy where required, to the university's evaluation division. Traditionally, the project proposal goes to the Faculty of Economics at the School of Social Sciences, and the final report goes to the Registrar, Student Evaluation Division, at IGNOU, Maidan Garhi, New Delhi. Increasingly, submission is done online through the official project portal, so always follow the route your current session notice specifies. 2 deadlines to remember. Submit by the 31st of May to have your result declared with the June term end cycle, or by the 30th of November for the December cycle. Now, one small step that causes big problems if skipped. You must enter your project course code in your term-end exam form and pay the project fee. If you do not, your marks will not be updated on your grade card, even if your report has been accepted and evaluated. Keep a photocopy of your report too, because you will need to bring it to the Viva. Stage 8. The Viva-Voce. After your report is submitted, you appear for an oral examination conducted by a project evaluator, usually at your study center. The Viva is not a trap. The examiner simply wants to confirm that the work is genuinely yours and that you understand it. Expect questions like, why did you choose this topic? What are your objectives? Which method did you use and why? What did you find? And what are the limitations of your study? Prepare by rereading your own report, being ready to explain your methodology in plain words and knowing your numbers. Speak clearly and do not simply read from the file. Let us talk marks because this is where students most want clarity. The project carries 100 marks in total, split between the project report and the Viva-Voce. In the School of Social Sciences, the common pattern is 70 marks for the report and 30 for the Viva. But you should confirm the exact split from your own MECP guide. The crucial rule is this: you must score at least 40% in each component separately. The report and the Viva, not just in the total, fall short in either, and you are treated as unsuccessful in the project. Your final result follows the numerical marking scheme used across MA Economics. 60% and above is first division, 50 to just under 60 is second division, 40 to just under 50 is a pass, below 40 is unsuccessful. And if you are unsuccessful, the guide sets out the path back. You redo the project work in the light of the evaluator's comments. Attach the required annexures, pay the prescribed re-evaluation fee by demand draft, and resubmit for fresh evaluation. It is recoverable, but it costs time, so it is far better to get it right the first time. Now let us quickly clear the mistakes that cause most rejections. Starting the report before the proposal is approved. A topic that does not match the approved proposal, weak or missing methodology, copied content which is treated as plagiarism and can be rejected at any stage, wrong or incomplete format with missing certificate or declaration pages, and forgetting to add the project code and fee in the exam form. Avoid these 6 and you have already beaten most of the field. So, is the MECP project worth taking seriously? And does it help you? Honestly, yes. It is compulsory, so you must complete it to earn the degree. But it is also the part of the program that builds the most useful skills. You learn to frame an economic question, gather and clean data, apply the right method, and defend your findings. Those are exactly the skills valued in research roles, policy and think tank work, banking and financial analysis, data and economic analyst positions, and further studies such as a PhD. A strong original project also gives you something concrete to show on your CV and to talk about in interviews. Treat it as your capstone, not a formality, and it repays the effort. Let us close with a few quick answers to common questions. Can you do both MECP-201 and MECP-202? No, you complete only one, based on your specialization group. Is the Viva compulsory? Yes, and you must pass it separately. Does IGNOU give a ready-made MECP project to submit? No. IGNOU provides the project work guide and the proposal pro forma on IGNOU. Any ready sample you find online is third-party and is only for reference, never to copy. How long does approval take? Plan for a few weeks, so submit early. That is the complete IGNOU MECP project process, from code to grade card. Confirm your code, get the proposal approved first, follow the report structure, submit on time with the exam form, and prepare honestly for the Viva. Do that, and first attempt approval is well within reach. For program-specific help and free resources, visit ignouproject.com or message BK Sahni directly on WhatsApp using the link below. If this guide helped, subscribe to Shri Chakradhar Education for more IGNOU project guidance, and do watch our linked videos on synopsis writing, project format, and submission. All the best with your MECP project.